Hey guys, I made that earlier video last night, the Satoru Iwata tribute. It was just a short little video, some fan art, and then some nice footage at the beginning and the end. I appreciate the kind words that were said. I don't know, I felt like I had to do something, and then I knew I wanted to do something more. So I wanted to just see if I could, try and say some words, and then maybe at the end I'll have some Nintendo Direct footage. Definitely a sad time for the company. I know it's like it reminds me of when the last president of Nintendo he died, Hiroshi Yamauchi. He died, and that was definitely sad, and there was some mourning time for that, but he had stepped down in like 2002. I was just turning 5 at the time, so not exactly somebody I knew. I'd probably heard his name like once or twice before he died. But with Satoru Iwata, it's somebody, you always see at E3, you see at Directs that I've seen for the past couple of years, so it's gonna be weird watching these without him. And especially because, with, not to keep bringing him up, with Yamauchi, he was 85. That's 30 years older than what Iwata died at. 55, and I think he had a family, so that's a big shame. I mean, I know him mostly because that's what he's been doing for over the past decade as the president, but he was also involved in actually helping develop games and working with games. I know he worked at HAL Laboratories, he was involved in the Earthbound series, he was involved in Kirby to some extent. Later on, he did help found Creatures Inc., which is involved with Pokemon. And this is amazing, I didn't hear this till after he died. He, apparently, the Game Freak was making Pokemon Gold and Silver, and they had finished the game, or basically finished the game, and since they were still new to programming, they would fit all of what we know is the Johto half of that game into the cartridge, the Game Boy Color, whatever cartridge, and then he helped them crunch it down enough that they were able to fit in the Kanto half of that game. And even though Kanto's a bit bare in the original, it was an awesome thing to have this Pokemon game with 2 regions. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are definitely up there as one of my, if not favorite Pokemon games. I put a lot of hours into that, and it's not really the same if you take away the Kanto half of that game. And he also did a lot of other stuff, and just as running the company, he's been running it for basically all of my lifetime as a gamer. Since 2002, the first video game I owned was Pokemon Leaf Green. That, I don't know, was that like 2004, maybe 2005? And like my first console was a GameCube, and, well, aside from handheld Game Boy Advance. And then, so I had all the consoles after that, and those were definitely influenced by him. And definitely a sad time, after his death. Another thing I forgot to mention, after his death, Sakurai said if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have finished the first Smash Brothers, and that's a staple Nintendo crossover series that so many people love, and it's just like, again, just this guy, I didn't know personally, but it'll just be weird not to see anymore. And it's like, you got these great quotes from him. He wasn't just this businessman. He came from a background in developing the games and just being a lover of games. And there's quite a few great quotes that just show that he really cared about the industry. 2 things I want to address that are sort of on the negative side. people. Well, the first thing is just there's the issue of what's next. Who's president afterwards, and will this perhaps, as polite as I can say, be a positive turnaround from some of his recent failings with how the Wii U went? Now, I mean, you can do a video series on the Wii U, and frankly, I think the larger issue we're dealing with is a lack of interest in the brands anymore, rather than just the hardware and the marketing. But I think there's a time and a place, and I think we just found out about his death. Give that a bit of time before we really start discussing the company going forward. Another thing, and I guess I know where people are coming from, but honestly, I think this is really kind of despicable. People are trying to shame others for negative opinions on the E3 Direct or specific parts, like the Metroid Federation Force thing, which, honestly, it's kind of sad if you're using this guy. He just died. You're trying to use his death to shame opinions you disagree with. Obviously, I don't think really big Nintendo fans that were just disappointed by a lackluster showing in a time where Nintendo, the Wii U is still not selling well. Nintendo needs to keep having great showings. These people, they didn't mean it as a person. That's their right as an opinion as a consumer. They didn't mean it as a personal insult to Iwata. So I just think if we could try and be positive about this, not like, use this as some reason to fight or to argue with people, that'd be great. I don't really know what else to say. It's just, I know I had to try and say something from the heart. It's just, I can't imagine thinking of anyone else as the president of Nintendo. Again, this is the face for my entire gaming lifetime. I can't really imagine what I'd be like as a Nintendo gamer if he didn't have the effects he had in Pokemon, in Smash Brothers, and in others. How he affected all of that. How different would it be? We don't really know. Can't really say, but we're happy for the happiness he helped provide us, and for always just being a cheerful guy to watch talk about bringing presentations directly to us. So, again, my condolences to his family and everyone at Nintendo, but I think that's all I have to say. I'll maybe put on at the end some best Iwata moments, but thanks for listening, I guess. It's probably dragged on too long. Just felt like I had to say something.
It looks like I'll be delivering the first Nintendo Direct of 2014 directly to you.
I wonder what's next.
I suppose I could give you a list of our technical specs. I believe you'd like that, but I won't for a simple reason. They really don't matter. I'm about making games. And I'm about playing games. Last night, I played Super Smash Brothers. That's my game. I kicked some you know what. And I took his name. His name was Reggie. Now E3 is over. You did a good job.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll see you at dinner.
Okay. See you later. じゃあ後で。
じゃあ、また。
You, non-specific action figure, did the best job. Please understand this situation.